Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to Brown's Riding Custom. Happy Monday. We've been working real hard on the vintage air system on the 1940 Ford, the big runs, and the car you see before you. So lots of progress today, and we're going to start over here because it's pretty and cool. You might have seen it in the short, but this is the dash to that car. Okay. No, this is not a factory 44 dash. This is a aftermarket dash from a company. So it's a Bitchin dash is the name of it, name of the company. And basically we put all this in, the vents, all the things. It just comes with none of that in there. But anywho's, and then Ron made a glove box and so on. But today we put this guy in. And this is our vintage air controller, temperature controller, fan, foot, vent, defrost, and then heat and cool. Really nice. Really happy with how that turned out. So that got done. That actually took a minute because this is actually extremely thick and was kind of a bitch to do, but we figured around got it done. While he was doing that, I've been over here. We unhooked all of our AC lines and took them and got them crimped. Where did the lines go? Yeah. Show you what we got here. So went and got them crimped, which is fantastic. So these are all ready to go. So we have one line we still have to do. And really it's because I'm waiting on a different fitting, which is the big one here. This guy here. And it goes from here over to the bottom there. But I bought a straight fitting instead of a 45. I think that's going to clean it up, and that's going to pull that line farther away from the valve cover and give us more clearance. So Wednesday that fitting will be here, and then we can get that done. And along with our heater hose fittings and Bill's hot rod power steering bracket that goes here. I don't know if you guys saw or not, but I picked up a power steering rack for this out of an 88 Thunderbird power steering rack. Brand new from O'Reilly's. It was just cheaper to get it that way than it was really to get it from, like Speedway or Summit or something like that. So we are putting power steering on this in the next probably 2 weeks. And yeah, more stuff. But for now, we're going to stick on AC. So we got all the fittings, all the hoses crimped. It cost us $5 a fitting. And what was the name of that place?
Hydraulics.
Hold on. These guys were great. I got it right here. Hold on. It was, what's the name of your place? Of course, you stapled the thing to it. Hose Makers Plus. Hose Makers Plus in, I believe it's Hudson, Florida. We ran over there. I kid you not, they crimped all of our hoses in about 10 minutes. Couldn't believe it. Like, holy shit. I thought I'd be dropping them off, picking them up in a couple hours. Nah, guy just rolled right over and just started crimping. I was like, holy hell. $5 a crimp. So it cost me $53 with tax and everything and in card. So not bad, really. Did a hell of a job. I mean, they're fantastic. So highly recommend, boys, if you're in this area, go get your hoses crimped over there. Now, in here, we've had a banner day. So I went ahead and when I got the power steering rack, also bought hose clamps and 5/8 heater hose, about 20 feet of it. And I went ahead and I got all of the inside lines done. So these are all O-ring, sealed, torqued, done to the block. So the inside lines of this car to this AC system are done now. So that was huge. And that was an absolute bastard because basically the only way to do this, since it's straight up and down on our block here, distribution block coming through the firewall, is I had to do the top liquid line first, but that meant I had to get the hoses crimped, right? So I had to get that crimped, do that one. Otherwise, I can't get a wrench in there to actually tighten it down and torque it down. So had to do that one, and then the two heater hoses in the middle, and they had to be in the right orientation, and then the bottom hose here. I think it's discharge line or something like that. But yeah, all of that's done. And we also are set up, you can kind of see the cardboard and stuff. We are going to be putting the defrost ducts in tomorrow right here. You can see my marks here. So we're going to cut a 1/4 inch right here, a 1/4 inch line, okay, a slot here, and the same over here, and 5 inches long. And that's going to be for our defrost. And we'll put our defrost ducts right here, and then we'll run our ducting to right there. And so that one will go there. This one will come across and go to here. And then that'll be done. So lots of stuff happening. Like I said, tomorrow we're going to be right back on this. We're going to start with the defrost ducts, get that done. Then we're going to reinstall the dash, get all of our ducting to our vents here, to our AC vents. We just got to slap them on the back here. And we'll get this in, get the steering column bolted back up, get all this back together. We're also going to pull this fender off tomorrow while we have all the lines off. We did go ahead, if you remember, we needed to flip the dryer around because in is towards the condenser. Out is to the evaporator. And so we did that. But now we're going to pull this fender off, and it's going to allow me to wire it up. So I need to take these wires down there and hook them up to the battery. Blue wire here goes to the trinary switch that's going to mount right here. And then it goes over to the compressor. And the rest of these wires, the two whites are grounds, and the orange and the red are the power wires, and go to the hot on the battery. So that's pretty much the wiring to this. And tomorrow we can also hook up the tan wire that goes to the lights. So when we actually turn on like the headlights and the lights come on the gauges, this will light up as well. So we'll hook that up too. And yeah, and then fender will go back on, and then I can hook up all of these lines that I just got made, get them done. There's a whole lot of steps in this process, but that's what we're doing. It's tedious, it's a bitch, but it's not hard per se. It's just contorting yourself to get into places you actually don't fit, that are very tight with wrenches and stuff that don't fit, and kind of making things to make things work. That's kind of where we're at. So anywho's, that's what we got for you tonight, guys. 44's rocking. We're killing it. Got a lot of parts coming Wednesday for this, power steering and fittings, and that'll really finish up a lot. I do believe that either by this weekend or the beginning of next week, this car will actually be at ice cold air getting charged, and then getting the AC system charged up, and then AC will be done. And then we're going to dive right into power steering once it gets back, and do it. It'll be an 88 Thunderbird rack with a Bill's Hot Rod bracket with a GM Saginaw pump with the reducer, the flow reducer from 3 gallons per minute to 2. That way we don't have too quick of the steering, too loose. Yeah, and all the things that go to make all that actually go together. And there's a lot there. So yeah, should be pretty slick. And then we'll get to getting on the painting. So hang in there with us, guys. We're working on it. We're trying hard. And hope you guys have a great night. And I'll give you one last view of this beautiful dash because it's just awesome. This worked out great. It couldn't have been any better. Really happy with that. And just because I know you guys love her, here's the 58 Chevy Apache Towmater. She's just sitting here with the sunset, you know. It's perfect. So, anywho's, we'll see you guys tomorrow for more vintage air on the 1940 Ford. And, yeah, if you guys like this stuff, follow us, like us, and subscribe on YouTube at Brown's Rod and Custom. And check out our videos. And, yeah, we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great night, guys. Stay safe.